What's up? What's up? This is part two. So anyway, when you watch the video and you see how when white people put the suntan lotion on, suntan lotion on UV, and they see themselves black, a lot of them really like it. I mean, you can see in the video that it's like, wow, I'm finally black, and none of them, they all smile, And I have this other video called the hypnotism of black, and it talks about why I believe people look at black people, and then stare. It's not because black person, but I think it's more or less the color and things like that, and that black always, it has that pulling in type of a reaction to it, which that's what it actually does. It absorbs, or it just absorbs people, and they just look. But anyway, you should watch the video. But what's going on is I want to explain something to you, and then to give you my solutions. First of all, white racism is nothing more than a figment of people's imagination. It is something that cannot be proven. It can never be proven, if you understand biology and stuff like that, because there is no reason why there's no reason for white people to have white skin on this earth with the sun. Now, if the sun was gone, then fine. Okay, it doesn't really matter. But as long as the sun is here, people with white skin, light skin, and stuff like that, the sun is pretty much attacking them. Okay, and that's what it's doing. The video, I want to talk about the video real quick. The video did show black people too, and they didn't really change that much, And it's really interesting because when you watch that video, it actually makes white racism just disappear out of your mind. You're like, oh my God, that's so true. Then what is this all about? And this white racism, what it's all about is just somebody's figment just someone's imagination. The only way they can keep it going is by force. They force things on us. They force things on white people too, because all white people are not racist. All white people do not hate black people. Actually, white racism hurts white people also. We feel blunt, but so do they. We see what it is about the news about black people. What black people need to understand is on CNN, they're playing all of these videos and stuff on the news, and they're saying that black people are bad, black people are bad. But if you had intelligent black people out there who knew what's going on and how to change things, then you would say, wow, this is going on in neighborhoods. This is going on in neighborhoods. Okay, well, let's go over here and fix this problem. Let's go over here and fix that problem. Let's go over here and fix this problem. I'm telling you, there's no reason why any black person in the United States should be poor. We are spending in other neighborhoods and businesses 98% of $1.1 trillion a year. That's how much we make. $1.1 trillion a year is more money than the whole country of Australia, maybe Canada, I'm not sure. But a lot of countries aren't making that much money. Okay. A lot of these countries are actually in debt. Black people as a nation, we are not in debt. Okay, the United States is in debt, but black people, we're not in debt. Okay, we can take our money and invest it properly. You guys need to really go out and learn about investing and stuff, and eating and things like that. My solutions are this. First of all, you need to understand that most of us in the United States, we're under this mental illness. This mental illness is basically you have there's two sets of thought. I believe I said on the first one. The first one is free will, and the other they don't talk about. But you got one that's free will. You got one that's what is it called? It's equations. You think by rationale. Rational thinking is pretty much thinking with equations. Okay, if you were to study the makeup of a black person and a white person, dealing with nature, their thinking powers, their strength, their abilities to resist sickness and durability and stuff like that, then everything is going to be on the black side. That's already proven. No argument for that. If you don't know it, you guys really need to go out and read it. The white side, there's nothing there that's going to topple them. Now they got this thing called vitamin D, right? And they say black people are deficient in vitamin D. Which you have to understand, white people do their experiments and they do them based off of white people. I think standard is white people. Anyway, for the vitamin D it is anyway. So they're saying white people need so much vitamin D. Black people, they need the same amount. We don't need the same amount because we are not the same. We are different people. The way we're made up is different. And they say we need this amount. But later, what happens is, the problem is that when they find black people, all these black people with vitamin deficiencies that are standard for white people, what they don't find are the physical evidence. There's no physical evidence. And then I guess one of them got smart and said, hey, you know what? Oh, and then black skin doesn't let you create so much vitamin D. So white people, they can create a lot through the skin. We can't because of the melanin blocks out that process and stuff. So we can only make a limited amount. Then one person said, hey, you know, black people got thicker bones than we are ours. They're stronger and everything. Maybe they don't need so much vitamin D because too much vitamin D is poison. Then they kind of find out that, hey, they need to redo it again and then check all black people, make our standards. So now you're going to have two different standards. You're going to have one for white people with vitamin D. You're going to have one for black people with vitamin D. And maybe they might start making them for Mexicans or whoever, South America. White people or people with lighter skins, from dark skin or lighter skin, maybe they're going to start doing that. So now you kind of find out that is wrong too. So we don't have a vitamin D deficiency. Our bones are already strong, so we need it, but we don't need as much as they do. So when you study, you'll see there's no difference. So what's the difference? Why is there white supremacy? Well, the white supremacy probably came along when they started to understand that a lot of things that they didn't have, and I want to just say it's just pure jealousy, and the way they were able to create it and make it last long was through your imagination, because I guess somewhere someone found out that you can control people through their imaginations, because people control the release of their hormones themselves. You have total control over releasing your hormones. When your hormones are released, they make your body react in a certain way. When you cry, you make yourself cry. You get the feelings and you make yourself cry. Laughter sometimes you don't. That might be spontaneous, but crying and a lot of other things that you do, you make yourself cry. Okay, a lot of times, sometimes it's voluntary, but a lot of times you make it. So your hormones, what they did was, once they found out that you can release your hormones yourself, then what they do is they create these images for us and then tell us how to feel. So, and you got the image and you got your glands releasing the hormones. You got the image and the glands. Most of the releasing of the hormones, they're all the same feeling. So let's say if it's adrenaline, you're going to always feel good or whatever. It's still going to be the same stimulating, sensational feeling. The only thing that's making this different, which it really isn't, is this changes. Bad, this feeling, okay, bad. You got the same feeling, but you got this put it together, it's good. This, you put it together, she's fine. This, he ain't no good. Blah, 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 blah. The only thing that changes is this. To beat that, to beat racism, is to understand that you have to control your own free will. You have to control the images that come in your mind. When they come in your mind, you don't have to attach your feelings to it. Now, if you don't understand how, it's like when you see your girl walking down the street with some other guy, and or some guy, you know, he just moved in the neighborhood and he's over there talking to your girl. Then you run over there. First thing you're gonna think is, oh, he's talking to my girl, and you're releasing your hormones soon. You get the adrenaline start flowing. You're talking to my girl, and the first thought that's gonna come in your mind is a good thought. Oh, maybe he just want to talk to her, you know. But you're gonna reject that because that is logic, okay? Because people do just talk, and it's logic. So you don't have to really release any adrenaline or any hormones for that. That's like when you study. It's all logic. It's there. Math is nothing more. All math, people, is an object, the shape of an object written on paper. When you're doing math, all you're doing is studying shapes. That is it. That is it. Okay? That's it. Okay? When you're reading books, all you're doing is just a book was written on paper is an image that you're supposed to picture in your head, and it comes with the feelings. The feelings are called adverbs. The adverbs create, they'll make the image, the still image, animated within your body. But actually the image doesn't. It's you doing it, but they're trying to make it and say it's one. So when they understood that, then they were able to create a white God, powerful, because they already had black ones, but they wanted to change it, maybe because everybody was like just into the black gods. Well, I want a white God, whatever. And so they started changing these things. And as they did it, they understood the power and the controlling mechanism, hormones as a controlling mechanism. And that's all they did. And so when they did the racism and all that stuff, that's all it was. That's how they were able to convince white people to jump on us. Now, the weapons, the crimes. Oh, black people, stop talking about reparations. You're not going to get reparations. It's too hard to prove. You can get what is that word? Retribution. Restitution. That's what you black leaders need to start pushing for, restitution, because that is easy to prove, it's true, and they got to pass. Not reparations, people, restoration. And that's another thing about the using dictionaries and stuff. You guys read a dictionary. The dictionary has tons. You get an unabridged, one of those big, thick dictionaries and a big, thick thesaurus, and you start reading it, because all the English lesson is just a whole bunch of synonyms. That's it. Okay. So when this person did that, what they were able to do was they were able to use the image and other people's emotions to create a bond. Okay. That's all. Create a bond. Once they created a bond, then they called that bond the Holy Spirit, or your conscience, or what God in you, or whatever. No. Those feelings when you going to church and you jumping around, oh, I got the Holy Ghost, you feeling good. That's just your emotions, your hormones playing tricks on you, because that's all it is. Okay, and listen, I ain't trying to say don't be a Christian, whatever. Jesus said he wasn't even a Christian. In the Bible, God did say it. Somebody said, don't think God loves you so much because he'll kill you and raise these stones up to be his own kids. So. And the Bible doesn't have anything love, but what it does though, in all these Bible and these things, they play on they play on your free will, and then they grab you with the emotions. So that's how they were able to get other white people to join into this what is it called? White racism stuff. All these Ku Klux Klan people and all of that stuff, you ask them why, what makes them special. And if they have no logical reason behind it, then what you can do, because now that you know, you can create images to make them understand. Or you can just straight tell them, no, the only reason you think you is because of the sensation that's going through your body. But that sensation is nothing more than different types of hormones you're studying, blah, 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 and you're explaining. And when you explain it logically, then they'll understand. Some people are going to fight it because they're going to fight it. They're going to like, it's wrong. And when you say, oh, you're wrong, Ralph, you're wrong. You're wrong, GS, you're wrong. My hair. You're wrong. Because what they're doing is, it's like a confusion in their mind, because their mind, you really do need an equation to really understand something. But when you create, it's like when you have a math problem and you don't understand it, and you got the because the math problem is it's just measurements, pretty much. That's all it is. The measurements, square this, that. That's it. Circle. It's just straight line. It got angles. Or it's a circle, part of a circle, and then, they just, that's all math is. That's all. One, it's just a dot. That's it. So, that's my thought. Wow, I went over. Okay. Anyway, the process in the mind is that you have this imagination, I'm white, I'm superior. But there are no equations to make that thought real. The only thing that makes it real is the emotions. And that's it. Because if you say, well, I love God, but you don't have any feelings with it, then it's like some guy walking over to a girl and say, I love you. And she'll look at him because no feelings are flowing with that. And then when she looks at him straight, I love you. Well, she's trying to create this picture of an I love you. But love really is not a description of anything. It's just this it's like the word, it's like an auxiliary word for a verb or something like that. You can't describe it, because it's just a feeling, but you're feeling nothing more than your hormones. So if you're saying that I love you, then basically you're walking over there to a girl or a guy or person, and you say, hey, I saw you. I had this imagination of me and you going on a date and blah, 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 blah. And this image that I had is real good, and I liked it. And when I was thinking about this image, I released my hormones, and it made it feel good, So I want to go out on a date with you, and exactly the same image that I had in my mind with me and you, I want to do it together in the physical so I can have the same feeling again. But then what you're going to have to do for that to work is you're going to have to tell the girl exactly what to do, how to speak, how to act, blah, 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 blah. And then she's just going to be a puppet. So you might as well just going to create your own robot, And so she's looking at you and she's like, well, you love me, that's fine. But when I look at you, there's no image in my head. So I'm not going to just run around and just releasing my hormones, because when they're released, they do damage the body, they do hurt the body and stuff, So I'm not going to do that. So I'm sorry, I can't hang out with you. And then he'll create an image, and the image is of that image that him or her going out to dinner. It's going to be in his mind. It's going to, just pop like a bubble, And then when it pops, he's not going to like it. So he got to create some. He's not. What it is it pops. Then he releases adrenaline, and now he's however much is going through and the hormones going through is really intense. And so then he's going to just label that image of him and that girl going out to dinner as a rejection. And then he's going to say, well, my feelings, the same feeling that I have now with this pop balloon, this is called rejection, and I don't like it. Because even the word like, love, they're just adverbs. They're just an expression or a word that totalizes the whole hormones, the stimulation from the hormones into one instead of breaking down like a car, like this coin. Well, what is this coin? This coin has, it's made of some metal at some degrees, pressurized or pressed at some pressure, and blah 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 blah. But you're not gonna, you don't have time to explain exactly what it is. So to make it easy, just call it coin or metal or whatever. And that's the same thing. So the guy's going to get upset. So when this racism came out and stuff, a lot of people were like, well, we're better than, now we're going to come out with this thing, right? Racism. We're going to white racism and white supremacy, and we're going to say that we're better. And so they actually did, as they gained more technology skills, they went out, like this one guy made a skull of a monkey or something and said it was a black person, and somebody else went along, another white person who knew the guy was, something was wrong, he went and said, oh no, this guy created this skull, but it was too late because the damage that he, the things he said had already went back. And so now they're saying all black people are monkeys and stuff like that. Well, that's where it came from. But if people don't understand it, then, they're going to get upset. Oh, you're a monkey. But if you know yourself, you're going to say, well, no, actually, I'm not a monkey, and I'm me. And then, or you laugh at them because they got a picture of some monkey. You may be swinging on a tree or whatever, and then they're laughing at their own image. And then, but you look at them and just laugh, and they're like, what you laughing at? I said, I'm just laughing at you tripping off your own image of me being a monkey. And I think it's funny because I'm watching you twerk your body and whatever, and then they're going to get mad. Oh, well, you're trying to make a joke out of me, because now when you said twerk the body, they're thinking of themselves twerking themselves, and if they can't dance, and they probably thinking themselves dancing like this, some crazy whatever dancing, and they get mad. And they're not getting mad because of what you said. They're getting mad at the image that they created in their heads of themselves, but that image that they created in their heads of themselves is going to be the worst possible image of themselves, because they know their own dirt. And they know how bad they are. Just like black people, when somebody call you a black N-word or whatever, you guys got to read the word N-A-G-A, naga, came to niggas, and all that stuff. You guys got to read it. The word naga, it really means, it's a good word. Sambo, it's not a bad thing. It was the first God, they said the first God before any ever God lived or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It was Sambo. They got a video called Sambos and Niggas on YouTube. Go out and check it out. The whole thing about all of this white racism, it's just an imagination. But what makes it real is their feelings, because the flow of your adrenaline is real. You do feel it. But when you apply it to white racism, well, how can you make a white person feel better? The image and the flow of their adrenaline, and that's it. But when you're feeling like that, you're not walking in the street. It's not making you more money. It's not making you smart. It's not doing that. The only thing that happens when you're feeling, when your hormones flow, is you get drugged and you get tired and lazy. So when you get lazy, basically you're not lazy because of you don't want to do something. You don't do something, whatever. You're only lazy because of the type of hormones that's flowing through your body, that's relaxing your body, and you can't do anything. Okay, and then once it relaxes your body and it goes to, adrenaline, it goes through your body, just makes everything all crazy and stuff in your mind. You can't think straight. So whatever you're going to do, your mind is going to, whatever your mind or programs your body to do, and the adrenaline flows, you're going to do that until it stops flowing, or until you get too tired where you can't move again. Then when your brain comes back to reality, you're going to look, and that's when they're talking about Wilson feeling bad. Yeah, because he went through a mental illness lapse, did what he did, and then when he came back to reality, he was like, oh my God, what did I do? And so then what they're doing is they're going to show compassion to what he is, and then they're going to like, okay, and then once you have that compassion and stuff, then they're going to all agree together based on some image that he's sorry that he shouldn't get punished the way other people feel he did. But the whole thing is he did that on purpose. Okay. And what I mean by purpose is, instead of evaluating a situation, especially when you're a police officer, before you just jump into things, you do have time to evaluate a lot of things. Okay. And it's like you got a suspect running down the street and he has a weapon. He turns and fire, and you still chasing him, and you might return fire. But if somebody's doing that, then they got pictures, people got video cameras now. You guys need to maybe put cameras in everybody's faces, whatever, I don't know. But the whole point is that when we get angered, then our feelings flow. We get a picture of something bad, then we call it anger because our feelings, and then you create the action. There is nothing that you do that isn't premeditated first. They're going to try this. You can't prove premeditation. Yes, you can. I just proved it. I'm telling you. Every act that you do, you think about it first, and then you do it. Every act. The only thing that makes your actions good or bad is how you label it. But the stimulations and all that, the hormones, the feelings, they're all the same. They're all the same. Okay, so it's like if somebody's hitting somebody. Every time you hit, you create, this person talked to my girl. And it could be her cousin. He talking to my girl. So you're not just thinking that he's talking. You're thinking that he's doing this with your girl, and he might be doing that with your girl, and he might be doing this with your girl. And you're thinking all these things, and then you get angry, and then you create a solution. And then the solution is, okay, I'm going to let it go. But that's not creating any feelings, because that's a logical thing to do. But it's not going to create any feelings. So you're looking for any excuse you're looking for any image that's going to make you feel good. Because that's all you're doing. That's all hormones do, make you feel good. They make you feel better, protect your body from harm, pain. And so then you say, oh, well, he just wanted, get my girl. And then right there, it's going to cause your adrenaline to flow, because you don't have any proof that that's what he wants. So you got to create your own proof. So that's how you do it, by releasing your own hormones. And then you'll feel good. Because you feel good, you think it's true, or you think it's God, it's some confirmation from heavens above, and it's not. Then you go over there and you so doped up that your mind can't function to tell you to stop. You go over there, you hurt her cousin. Then when you finish, she's crying, he's all broken up and stuff. And why are you doing it? Because he's trying to talk to you. He's my cousin. Oh, no, yeah, yes. And everybody come, and the whole family dislike you, and now they disown you until you leave them alone. Because all you have to do is go over and ask. Okay, when a guy talks to a woman, it's natural. The only thing that makes you jealous is your image. Your image.